Drum build-ups are vital in creating tension, but they're almost always centered around the snare drum, which means they all sound the same, and that's boring. So in this video, you'll learn how to make your drum builds stand out. But first, tune.
Hello, revolutionary music makers! I'm Kate Harmony, this is Ray Harmony, and welcome to Hack Music Theory.
This channel helps you make great music that stands out so you can move and grow your audience. Alright, it's time to open your door to Hack Music Theory. The Theory.
London duo Modestep just dropped their new single, Not IRL, on Monstercat.
Which is actually a local label, so big up Vancouver!
In this song, Modestep takes the art of drum build-ups to a whole new level for 3 reasons. First, they extend their build way longer than you're expecting, which creates even more tension than usual. Second, their build is centered around the toms instead of the snare. And third, there's a super tasty drum fill that leads into the beginning of the build, which means they're already creating tension before their build has even started.
Now, please excuse me while I have a quick proud teacher moment, but the drummer in Modestep, Pat Lundy, is actually a former music theory student of mine. Big up, Pat! He's an ultra mega talented drummer, so do yourself a favor and check out his channel. I'll link to it below.
The hack.
Alright, now you're going to learn how to use this theory to make your own version. And what you see on the screen right now is our version that we made earlier. So start by setting up 5 bars of 4/4 with your grid set to 30-second notes and your tempo set to 75 BPM. And please note that to keep this video short, because we respect your time, our build is half the length of Modestep's. But if you want a longer build, just double each bit.
Step 1. Fill.
So this first bar is actually going to end up being the last bar of your verse. In other words, this bar is the transition from verse to build. So to help create a more interesting transition and to introduce some tension, you're going to throw in a fill here. Right, start with a snare on beat 4, then use a combination of all 3 toms to play all the 30-second notes after that, except on beat 4 and.
Leaving that beat open makes the tom right afterwards syncopated, which means you're accenting an offbeat, and that adds groove.
And while we're on the topic of transitions, if you want to learn how to write a new section for an existing section, and then how to transition between those sections, especially when they're in different keys, then check out our online apprenticeship course. It contains 17 hours of video in which I literally teach you every step of the music making process, from blank screen to finished song. The link is below.
Step 2. Toms.
Alright, now we're into bar 2, where the build starts. However, instead of blasting that snare, you're going to go all in on the toms. But first, get your kicks on all the 8th notes. Then fill in the whole bar with 30-second note toms. But don't play any toms at the same time as a kick, because you want space for your kick to stomp.
Also leave another 30-second note open over each quarter note beat for a more interesting pattern. And then when you're done, repeat this bar so it plays through twice.
Next, to crank up the tension even more, you're going to change the tom pattern halfway through your 4-bar build. So in bar 4, keep the same kick pattern, but now you're going to play a very simple and repetitive pattern on only 1 tom.
Step 3. Snare.
Finally, it's snare drum time. And yes, of course, the snare is indeed the ultimate tool in a build-up, but we don't want to be lazy and rely on it exclusively, because that's boring. So after you've used the toms to get the tension to this level, it's time to max it out. And by saving the snare until this late in the game, your build is now going to be able to reach a height that other builds can only dream of. Alright, so in bar 5, get that machine gun snare in on all those 30-second notes.
But be sure to stop before the end of the bar to create space so your drop sounds extra massive.
And by the way, if you're new to music theory, or if you just want to brush up on your theory knowledge, then download our free book at hackmusictheory.com.
And just before the final playthrough, if you'd like us to hack a specific artist, let us know in the comments below. Alright, now it's time to have a listen to our epic 5-drum build-up.
And if you want to keep learning how to make great music that stands out, then you'll definitely need to take your drum beats to the next level too. So we've got a video on that coming next, just click when it pops up in a few seconds, and we'll meet you there.